Alrighty, welcome back, everybody. Once again to Death Stranding. I'm gonna go ahead and just get this ready because we're gonna need it. What is that? Did we already see that? Okay, we already finished Pewter City. So we have the game plan, right? We set up a game plan last time for how I want to tackle this. We'll get the game plan, and then I will, I'll get the videos rolling here. Something to listen to. We're gonna collect. Who are we going to? Are we going to the first prepper? On standby? I'm not sure. Also, I did go ahead before the stream. I went and just upgraded all of these so we don't have to worry about them. You got stuff all over the place, don't you?
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. All weapons will remain locked until departure. All clear. Welcome, Sam for the bridges.
Oh, I guess that's it. Okay. I would like... okay, we need a grenade launcher. Level 2. We'll bring some grenades. And I would really like to try out... the HG... Yes, I know I have insufficient materials. Oh. Well, they would usually give me like a warning. And ask if I wanted to just take stuff out of my private locker. I don't know what it needed. Let's see what's so special about this one.
Thank you for your
Oh wait, do I have anything else in my Private locker. I also need to make sure that there's nothing in that, there we go. Okay, yeah, now it's asking me to recycle things. What did I need? Ceramic? Metal.
Thank you for your contribution.
I'll just bring the truck.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
What do we have in here? Blood bag. And that's it. Okay, we didn't have like any orders or anything. Okay. We know what we're here for.
The City of Solitude. A big, beautiful...
Already seen Solitude. We saw Cerulean. What is...
Mondstadt. A beautiful, peaceful town with a shitload of windmills,
Genshin
more
Impact?
windmills, and a lot of nice folk.
It
But what's
is.
really going on underneath the surface of this peaceful-looking town? How is the local economy doing? Well, there's only one way to find that out, and that's by doing an unemployment survey. Now, for this unemployment survey today, because of my general unfamiliarity with this area and with this world, the Bureau has sent me with a consultant named Mem.
Hello, my name is Mem. I am a consultant.
What's the most efficient way to get a sense of the unemployment in a town?
You're the expert.
That's right. We're doing a direct survey, just like we always do. We're going to be walking around and surveying every single individual person in this entire town, getting account of the population, the demographic, but most importantly, whether they have a job.
So you put a lot of faith in people self-reporting accurately.
No, yeah, sort of. All right, so we're going to start just right outside the front gates here with Swan. Now it says here Knight of Favronius. What does that mean?
Knight of Favonius means they're the police here, basically.
Sounds like mega employment to me. Thank you, Swan.
Oh my god, wait.
Next up, Lawrence. Lawrence also
It says
Knight
it's
of
not
Favonius,
raining up
also
there?
doing that little salute. How can I help you? You can't help me anymore. You already have.
So yeah, do we want to go...
Do I want to go left or right? So from what I can tell, and maybe you can help me with this town is sort of in levels. Is that correct? It's like lower level, middle level, upper level?
Yes, there's a lot of stairs.
Perfect. All right, we're going to just start lower then, and we'll go to the left to start. So, first of all, this man's swinging a hammer. You know what that means.
He's working hard.
He's working hard.
He's got muscles.
That guy in the back working hard or hardly working, you know. But this guy working hard. Miles, Knight of Favonius. Guess what that means? Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. Who the
This
hell
man
are
is
you?
depressed.
Stanley. Okay.
Stanley is an adventurer. Okay, so can I tell you about the adventurers?
You
and then-
can, but I might edit it out if it's boring.
No, this down here is a flower shop, which during the day there's a little girl there selling things.
What's
Oh,
Donna doing
no.
during the day? Wow, that was a lot of
kinda funny.
D's.
The same thing she's doing right now.
Just standing around, not helping anybody with anything?
Daydreaming.
Donna. I think Donna might be unemployed.
I would agree with that, to be honest.
I like this little German-feeling town. Huffman. Another night. That's employment.
Complete or cancel the current orders listed below. Okay.
Don't worry
Wanted
about
to do it all at once? I guess that's not an
having a
option.
discount. This man works.
Yeah.
This man is
He's working
working.
hard.
Nimrod, that's a good name. Nimrod, are you employed? What are you doing? Said it's a question. I'm on my way to have a drink. Man of the people. I don't think my wife will have overheard that. Okay, so he's an alcoholic whose wife doesn't know he's an alcoholic.
All he ever really talks about is drinking.
And all the people he's talking about
I'm
had
pretty
funny
sure-
names
yeah.
called like Dumbo the drinker and Idiot the drinking fool. And his name is Nimrod.
Idiot the drinking fool.
So he probably just drinks,
That
which
does
that's
seem to
not
be true.
that is not employed behavior.
I would agree. Of everyone in this town, Nimrod probably has the most unemployed energy.
My job is eating. That's not a job. All right, Patton, we already talked to you. Huffman, we already talked to you. Let's, I guess, go back. I'll take a peek back here. Oh my God, look at this. Oh, this is going to prove quite a conundrum. Flora is the owner of a flower shop.
Yes.
Okay, so this, by all accounts, this person is working and has a job, but is also a child.
It does say Flora is the owner.
Oh, what the
though.
hell? This place is infested.
This is an extremely employed child.
This is like as in not only
I didn't
employed,
come here
but
with that in mind.
Owning a business like that's
Yes.
it doesn't get more employed than that. Like a kid with a lemonade stand, the bureau's not going up to them and going, "Hey kid, is this an employment? Let me see your W-4 or whatever." It's just a lemonade stand. That's all this is.
It's just a lemonade stand.
She just picked dandelions from her fucking backyard and is trying to sling them. All right, she doesn't count. She doesn't count.
Under NA. Okay, so going up this hallway, we can kind of talk to people, like up these stairs.
All right. Oh my
So there's
God,
this lady
this
on
is
the
looking
left.
like a lot of employment. First of all, Catherine, Ada Astra Abasuk. That's Latin for
Oh!
right now. Thank you very much, Marjorie,
Sam!
owner of a store. Thank you for your employment, Marjorie. Everybody, this
What is
way.
this?
More alcohol all over the place.
I know.
So, a lot of drinking.
Just give me the
in this
rubber
town.
rounds.
What's going on?
There is. It's kind of a thing. It's kind of a thing.
Is that all the towns? Is there like just a lot of alcohol involved
No,
in this game?
this is the alcoholic town.
All right, okay. I mean, it's kind of like German.
Grenade
you know,
launcher
kinda old.
attachment?
A little bit, yeah.
It's
Maybe
it's
that's the
Oktoberfest.
inspo.
All right, Yuri, how are you, Yuri?
She's just wandering. I'm suspicious of the people that are just wandering.
I envy those who can
Those
show
things
restraint
sick.
when shopping, which means she has trouble showing restraint, but it does mean she shops a lot. Oh,
Oh, she's the wife
alcoholic
of the
scoundrel of a
alcoholic.
husband. Okay, so we know that she's able to buy stuff. We know that her husband is an unemployed drunk.
Yeah, he doesn't do
She's
anything.
got to have a
So
job
she has to be making
because
the money.
she's paying money. We're buying things.
She
Oops.
probably can't afford her shopping because he's spending it
Oh
all
my
on alcohol.
God, this is ridiculous. All right, I feel like we can assume that Yuri's employed. Either that or she just like is rich, but we're gonna say employed. Blanche, employed, easy.
Shopkeeper.
Shopkeeper. Anna, standing by the fountain. Unemployed behavior, just standing around, but we'll see. Oh, she's got COVID. What are you doing, Anna? She's making a wish. Maybe you should wish for a job, Anna.
Okay, hang on.
Exactly.
Anthony,
This is not. This is not the right time for the video. I'm sorry, I can't focus. What are they shooting at? Uh-oh. Yeah, we're going giga loud. They're just walking into it. I mean, that works for me. What's up with this guy? Okay, now we can relax.
Tirelessly every night just to earn money to buy medicine for me. That she's not
So
working.
she's not
Nah, she's not employed. This lady's sick. Now, maybe there's a question of, is she on sort of like an equivalent of disability? Because if she's not able-bodied, then and if she cannot work, then she's not applicable. So it's possible she's just too ill.
It seems like she can't work.
It kind of
She's
feels
over
like
here
that.
coughing every 2 seconds.
I mean, or at least she thinks she can't work. She probably, if you put a pickaxe in her hand and like point a gun at her head, she probably would do some work. I'm just saying. I think probably though, like legally speaking, she probably just doesn't count because of her illness, right?
Okay.
I think that's fair. Right.
So, unemployed is truly only like they really should get a job.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
they
yeah. No,
don't.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not unreasonable.
Austin really does hate unemployed people. Like despises them. He talks about it all the time.
All right. Did we miss anyone in this area? We talked to Marjorie. Talked to these wandering people. These windmills. What do the
Good,
windmills
right?
do? Are we gonna get to go in a windmill?
Yeah.
You can't go in them.
What are they for?
I imagine they power something, but I really don't know. Maybe the fountain.
There's 8 windmills to power the fountain. Yeah, maybe.
know.
All right, that's it for this market area. Now we're gonna go up to what I like to call the windmill city, the party city for windmills. All right, first up, Alfrey, sitting down on a bench. But Alfrey is working for the intelligence department, and we have a lot of respect for our friends in the intelligence department. So, definitely employed. Glory, hello, Glory. Glory doesn't have any eyes. Are you blind?
Glory is
Oh, you
blind.
are blind. Okay, so Glory has a disability of blindness.
She does, you know, I can confirm she is on that bench all day, every day.
Okay, so she can't be working. I mean, there's not any jobs here that you could do blind. Actually, there totally are. You could sell fruit, but we're gonna give her this one. We're gonna say she's not A. You're an A. Raymond, you work for the Knights. Congratulations, my friend. You are employed.
It is funny now that you mention it, how many games there's like many more guards than they would need for the amount of people.
Yeah,
that you
like it would be like having a city of 200,000 people with 200,000 police officers.
Yes.
That's insane. All right, who the hell are you? Diplomats. Oh, okay, interesting. So diplomats are employed for sure, but are they employed here? Do these
They are
people
not
live here?
from here.
They're from Fatui.
Well, they're from Shneznaya.
All right. Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. All right. So 2 people, but they're not. We're not even gonna count them as NA
Oh, it
because they're not
fell.
even part of the population. So we're just gonna move on.
Oh,
Anthony,
I
get out
fell.
of the fountain, buddy. All right. This man is stealing money out of the water fountain.
Oh, so she said he was working for her medication, but his working is just
Stealing.
money out of this fountain.
Ah, but look, huh? I also work hard
I
at my
also
job.
work hard at my job.
So Anthony is both employed and a dirty, rotten thief. You can be both. Okay, what the heck's going on up here? There's a lot of people in this town, dude.
This is
Sansa.
more than I remember.
Perfect timing. Listen to this. Sansa's a bard. That could go either way. My parents were extremely resistant to the idea of me being a bard. They said there's no job security. Okay, so the goal, she is trying to be a bard professionally. So she's unemployed.
She's unemployed, but she's aspiring employed. But
She wants to be a job. That's really the definition of. A lot of people say that I should only count people who don't have a job and want a job, which I guess is her. So yeah, she's hella unemployed. Herman.
Or no, he's not a guard.
He looks like Peanut Butter Gamer. He does. He does. Wagner's swords are also expensive, says Herman. I'm just an ordinary dad. A dad. Good for you. All he loves now is his wife. Okay.
He's a wife guy. Herman's a
Yeah,
wife
he's a
guy.
wife guy.
He used
No
to go,
money.
No money. Okay. Yeah, no, he's
Herman.
unemployed. It sounds like he used to go on adventures and now he's retired.
And he's like, I can't risk that. I have a family to raise. But he
And
doesn't
he
have
also
any
says
money.
no money. Is a retired person unemployed?
No.
No.
But he's not old enough to be retired. And he clearly doesn't have enough money to retire because he's walking around talking about no money.
I feel like if you're walking around the square all day saying
Well,
no
no, I don't
money
have any
over and
money.
over,
Where's
you
my-
have to be unemployed.
Yeah, you're probably right. All right, Herman, sorry. Get out of here. Oh my goodness, an old man. But he works. He's the boss of the Goth Grand Hotel. We met your son.
He owns a hotel. He's
So he owns a hotel. He's employed. It's easy as that. Thank you, sir. You should retire soon.
Look at these 2 round bushes with 1 tall one in the middle.
Oh. Oh, I see. It's a penis. Am I
Okay.
going up here? What?
You
What,
wanna go
what,
up?
what am I doing? Going
Yeah.
up we go.
'Cause all we have left is the square in front of the church.
All right, sweet. Okay, this area's gigantic. Love that. All right. Aramis, a knight employed. 6-fingered Jose. Oh, that's amazing. All right, are you a more successful bard than the other one? Hey, amiga, I like there's just like a Mexican guy. Do you want to hear my latest composition?
Where's this
Do you-
heading?
No, I'm a beloved bard, so that would imply he's been successful.
Distro
right?
Or
center.
I should
All
say I
right.
used to be beloved. I mean, he is out here doing it, so he must be making something.
All right. 6-fingered Jose's employed. Nora. Hello, Nora. I don't even need to talk to you, Nora. You know why? Because you're a child. Now, what about all you people? Traveling scholar. Traveling. Doesn't live
He doesn't
here.
live here.
Why do you pray with us? Because I'm at work. Vile. An informant. In like an official way? So what is an informant? Do you know anything about this woman?
I know nothing about this woman. She kind of sounds like a consultant because she's talking about giving some
That's like
advice.
what you do. You're a consultant.
Yeah, you know, game recognized game.
Right.
Stand by.
She's giving consultant,
So
which
she's
is employed.
Employed. All right. Thank you, Vile. Okay, church boy. Albert, how are you? Sorry, I was just leaving.
Why would this be on
Leaving
stand?
what?
I definitely
he's
did
in love
not
with a
do the
nun.
one from the doctor.
Yeah.
He's in love with a nun, and he runs a fan club.
Did I?
For a nun. This is not.
She's a really hot nun.
It's, yeah, most of them are. You ever see Sound of Music, dude? So, first of all, notwithstanding the fact that this is creepy behavior, this is unemployed behavior.
This
in my
is
opinion.
something. This is something you come up with when you have a lot of free time.
Exactly. See, this is exactly right.
I think I'm gonna hang this.
Right. Unemployed, Albert. Get out of here.
He's big unemployed.
Stand by necessarily mean.
So we finished all of the outdoor areas, and now we get to go inside.
Bound
First
to
stop,
another order's completion.
inside the cathedral. All right, we got a lot of people in the cathedral. First of all, guy from another city, doesn't matter. Second of all, a couple of children. No, wait, it's Peanut Butter Gamer hanging out with a child. Uh-oh.
This
So
is a different
this?
guy.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. I think the other guy's name started with an H. This is a different guy.
Okay, Daddy, who's Papa Toes? Is he a magic man? Oh no, I don't like the idea of a
What?
someone
a
named
magic man named
Papa Toes running the church with a bunch of sisters. That is extremely suspicious. The reason why Mommy and Daddy have a happy life is because Lord Barbados is a very nice man, and Papa Toes is constantly screwing my wife. So he probably is like just a stay-at-home dad, so he's NA. He's hanging out with the kid. He's babysitting the kid all day.
He is. He's
By babysitting, I mean raising his child. you
Yes.
know, right.
By babysitting, a father babysitting
Right.
his daughter.
Yeah. A father babysitting his wife's kid is
Mm-hmm.
what it is. Victoria, you are employed at the church.
I am
I'm
Victoria from the church.
Okay. Next up, into the Knights headquarters. This is going to be a lot of employment, so get that pen ready. Employment? Hello? Hello? No? No employment in here.
Oh, we have to
hello,
do that
sir.
too. I forgot about that. Yeah, we got to do that.
Employed. Yeah, I feel like this town has a lot more stuff than it has people. Like, if you think about
This
it.
is
Like,
true.
look at
It's a
all
little-
these
A
chairs,
little bit
dude.
sparse.
Like, what's the population of the town so far? 10, 20, 30, 40, what, 50?
Yeah.
You could fit them all in this room. Wood. These people got crazy names. All right, Wood is employed. So, inside this knight's barracks, there are 2 knights.
This is true.
What's going on? Welcome to Angel's Share, the tavern.
Six
What's
Finger
up?
Jose.
Six
We
Figure
talked
Jose's
to.
back.
It's
Yeah.
hard to forget him.
So it's impossible to forget Six Figure Jose. Cyrus, definitely not talked to, and also Jack. Cyrus is branch master of the Adventurers Guild. Jack is an adventurer sitting with Cyrus, so probably employed by the Adventurers Guild, right?
I would say so.
Charles, bartender, obviously employed. Thank you, Charles. Payne. All right, let's see. Payne, the drinks are on me today. What you doing, Payne? Have we talked to Payne before? If you
He
are
is
okay, I'm
drunk,
sorry.
and
He
it's
is
like 7 a.m.
right, bro. This man is not employed. He was too drunk to see me. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And it is 7:45 in the morning.
Exactly.
All right, we are almost done. We've gotten all the outsides and the insides inside the walls. But now we're going to check outside the walls to see if there's any employment.
Any
out here.
chance this is all of
Oh,
it?
I think I see someone.
Somebody looking wistfully over the lake.
A fishing person. Are you selling the fish or just fishing as a hobby? Looks like you're selling fish. An angler. I'd like
He's
to buy some
selling-
fishing
yeah,
supplies.
he's
Boom.
selling
Amazing.
supplies.
Thanks,
No.
Nantuck. Jones. Never again, says Jones. Thanks be to the Animo Archon. He's standing on the port with all these boxes that need to get unloaded. He's a
Yeah.
strong-looking guy. He probably is like an unloader for the port. Almost certainly, right?
Yeah,
Agreed. Employed.
he's employed.
A child named Arthur. You know what we say about children.
N.A.
N.A. Not applicable.
Got a funky hat.
I'm sure he'll get a job someday. Ulfer. Not looking good. Am I here to jeer and ridicule you? That depends, Ulfer. Do you have a job?
He tried
Building a boat out
tried
of
to build a boat
dandelions?
out of
Bro,
dandelions.
come on.
But if this is what he
Uh-oh.
spends his
They
days
heard
doing,
that.
that sounds pretty unemployed to me.
It's definitely unemployed behavior, right? Sitting around stringing dandelions together.
Mm-hmm.
All right, mark him down.
Unemployed.
Give me
All
that
right,
speed
are these the
skeleton.
last two folks? It sounds like it. 3 folks. One of them's a child. First up,
'Cause I think we're
child
going loud.
Sage. Guess what, Sage? You're a child. They gotta be his parents, right? Parsley. We can't go on like this. The dandelion sea. There's no way to find it.
Wait, so is this a couple and they're named Parsley and Rosemary?
Parsley, rosemary, and sage. So it's all just a bunch of herbs.
But so are these people that just happen to meet each other that both have spice
Yeah, that's a
names?
great point. Yeah, are they
'Cause they
brother and
seem like
sister, and then they got
siblings.
married and had a kid? I mean, I don't know, Genshin.
Siblings are dating. Parsley and Rosemary.
Yeah, they could be both. It's interesting that both parents have the day off.
Yes, they're both not working right now, at least during the day.
Right.
They're both, as you would say, babysitting their child.
Well, no,
their
the
own
mother is
child.
raising her child. The father
The
is
father is
babysitting the mother's
babysitting.
child. Right?
Okay.
Those are kind of designer glasses, which I feel like, take some money. This is such a stupid exercise. Because at this point, we're literally just going like, well, he has boots, and you need to buy boots. It's like,
I know.
What are we doing? You know what? Here's what I want to know. If they leave at night. If they don't leave at night, that's telling me these people are sleeping out here. And they're homeless, they don't have a job. It's a homeless family. Hippie homeless family. Fair?
Fair.
All right. So when this camera comes back down, if they're still here, they're unemployed. Holy hell.
They're
People-
still here doing the same thing.
Yeah, they just live out
They're just
here.
hanging out.
Just vagrants hanging out outside the city. All right. Child doesn't count. 2 unemployed adults. All right. Well, it's sad to end on a sad note, but that wraps up the survey, which means there's only one more thing to do. Throw it over to the Bureau of Labor Statistics for their economic situation summary. Ma'am, thank you so much for the help. Thank you so much for the consultation. And we're going to throw it over to the summary now, the press conference in 3, 2, 1. Press conference. Hey. Hi. Hello, folks. Welcome back. Another press conference. That light. Can we turn that light down? Welcome to another employment situation summary. This will be
Come on,
for the
guys, I'm
city
over here.
of Mondstadt in a place called Tevat. There are no announcements or anything to make, so let's get right into the data, shall we? Total surface payroll employment for Mondstadt is at 48 persons, and unemployment is at 22.6%. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported today. Wow. The city of Mondstadt is a large pseudo-stratocratic city. Who is writing these? In the region of Mondstadt. Total estimated population is
That's right.
76
Here, come
persons,
here.
with the vast majority of which are working age, almost 90%. Economically, the city operates similarly to many medieval centers of commerce, with the bulk of goods being imported for sale at a variety of market shops and restaurants.
I need this
from
guy
the surrounding
I need you
regions.
to
That's a
not
common
wake
thing.
these
We've seen
guys
that
up,
before.
actually.
Mondstadt's primary employers then are typical shops, police, soldiers, restaurants, religious centers, etc. Make up the entirety of its employment. There isn't a single clear, unique industry or export that makes Mondstadt any more appealing a place to live and work than anywhere else, which makes its very high unemployment a huge issue in the long term. There is an abundance of windmills scattered in and around the city. Typically, windmills are practical machines used for grinding wheat into flour, cutting logs, or pumping water. The Bureau, however, was unable to make a clear determination of what the purpose was for all this infrastructure. In the case of Mondstadt, not a single person made mention of working in or around them. So that's confusing.
No.
Also confusing.
No.
Just have
No.
an extra blank sheet of paper in this report. Thank you.
No.
A big part of the story
No.
Mondstadt is with regards to public health and the consumption of alcohol. Not unlike locations in, for example, the United States of America, like Milwaukee, Mondstadt has easy access to alcohol and a strong social drinking culture. With this comes the presence of regularly inebriated and unemployed citizens, along with the presence of chronic illness, both directly and indirectly related to the city's enthusiasm for non-sobriety. In conclusion, Mondstadt's current economic situation is likely unsustainable. 22.6% puts Mondstadt towards the bottom of our list, just ahead of Palatown and Canto. So not great news for Mondstadt. Dang, okay. We wish them the best of luck. I also wish you the best of luck in selecting another one of my videos to watch. That helps me a lot when it comes to the algorithm. This video is made possible by my supporters on Patreon. Thanks to all of you
There's
so
like
much. If you
one
wanna
guy
consider the
out
link
there
down below.
that I
And
need to
last,
take
but certainly
care
not
of.
least, guess what? In my free time, I make a lot of music. I use that music in all my videos, and today I'm giving you yet another song. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you next time. Okay. The town of Morthal. Sure, it's a little bit of a dump. Yes, the ground is sloshy, wet mud, but the people are simple and charming, and the flowers look like titties. But what's really going on underneath the surface of this cold and wet paradise? How is the local economy doing?
Have you seen my mother?
Well, that's what I'm going to
Going
figure
on,
out
Tommy?
today as we get into yet another unemployment survey, this time for the city of Morthal. What is the best way for us to get a sense of the unemployment rate in Morthal? You guessed it, we're doing a direct survey of every single citizen. Now, typically, we would keep the guards for the end and count them all at once, but because Morthal is a little bit of a smaller town, we're just going to count them as we go, and we're going to start with this guy here. I don't even have to talk to him. You can tell by the helmet. You can tell by the ridiculously ripped arms. This man is employed. I feel like this place is kind of cold, and so there's not a lot of people wandering around outside, which makes sense. So my assumption will be we're going to be spending a lot of time inside. Oh, what's going on over here? Oh my goodness. There's a murder has occurred. Wow, this one's obvious at least. And you, sir, I'm sorry for your loss, but I am happy for your job. Congratulations.
What is it? Dragons?
No, sir. It's a corpse. Now, of course, this guy doesn't actually count. He's dead, so he's not part of the population. That was just a little employment joke. And what about you two? This looks like a child, is that correct? At the end of the day, he's not really relevant to my survey because he's a kid, so he is not applicable. All right, what about you, ma'am?
For now, looking after Yorick is my job.
Is looking after Yorick a job? Who is Yorick? Is Yorick the kid? Are you Yorick? Okay, yeah, this little kid is Yorick, which at the very least makes her not unemployed because she's sort of a caretaker. It probably just makes her not applicable. I'm gonna count her as just a legal guardian.
Looking after Yorick is
We got 2 more guards walking around here. How nice is
Missed.
that? Hello, sir. What are you doing? Oh, you're doing a little fishing. He appears to be doing a little bit of fishing along the docks. There are a lot of boats here. He is decked out in full fishy gear. He does look very professional. So he's either a retired guy doing some casual fishing, or he's a professional fisherman. So what I have to figure out is, does the local inn sell fish? If they do, he must be the one catching it. Oh, I've got salmon on the table, and we got cooked bass on the menu. Thank you
My
for
gosh,
catching all
why
the
are they
fish
so
for the
spread
inn,
out?
and thank you for being employed. Dang, this guy is not joking around. What are you doing? Is he about to attack that crab? Oh, yep. He's doing a little bit of crab defense. Wow, we saw a guard actually laboring. Isn't that wonderful? What do you do here in this town, sir?
Oh, well, you know. A bit of this, a bit of that.
So that sounds like unemployment to me.
I figured the guards could always use some help, so I keep my eyes open.
So you're kind of like one of those people who's like, I'm gonna really help the cops, you know, and pretends that they are helping the cops, but then the cops come and arrest them. Kind of feel like this guy's unemployed. He's an aspiring police officer, and he says he does odd jobs around the house, but I've known a lot of unemployed people who say that. Like when they don't have a job, they'll be like, oh, you know, I do all sorts of little things. But they're actually just sitting at home playing Skyrim. So I have a feeling that's probably what this guy does. If he really has odd jobs, I need him to prove it to me right here, right now. standing, taking a look at the wall. This man is unemployed. Looks like across this bridge there's another little place
Come here,
attached
bud.
to the town. I believe I already counted that guard. And it looks like a sawmill. You know what that's going to mean. Lots of high quality employment. First and foremost, check this guy out. Working hard or
Didn't I
hardly
have,
working. This man is
maybe I
working
put
hard.
them. I thought I got a stun grenade that I got.
And we got this guy also at the mill. I
Somewhere.
see you work here too, right? I'd like to buy some lumber because you sell lumber because you're employed. I like that. Simple, you know, it's a simple industry, but every town's got to have their staple industries, and
Are you the
this
last
place
one?
is no different. Based on what I see on the map, that's really everything that Morthal has in terms of outdoor spaces. And people really don't seem keen to wander around the streets of Morthal.
Yes.
I don't know if it's a dangerous place or just kind of a boring place. It kind of strikes me as a boring place, first and foremost. But either way, that is going to wrap up our survey of the outside. Next up, a survey of all the indoor spaces, starting with whatever this is. This is somebody's home. Holy shit, there's a wizard in here.
My mother and father died years ago.
So this is an orphan. Typically, orphans make good candidates for unpaid laborers, but it doesn't appear that the wizard is making this child work, but it's still fine. Hello, wizard. Thank you for taking care of this orphan. It's nice of you. Mind if I ask you a few questions about what you do? Oh, what have you got for sale? Well, that sort of answers that, doesn't it? He's self-employed. He sells gems and robes and necklaces. He's sort of like those people that you might meet late at night at a bar who you can send money to on Venmo, which makes him employed. Wow, and he even sweeps. What a employed gentleman. I like this guy. Nice guy. All right, what about this place? It looks like a potion shop. It is a potion shop, indeed. With no shopkeeper. Hello? Anybody here? Oh, is this one of those weird, like, walk in, take whatever you want, walk out, and it charges your credit card, like those weird Amazon stores at airports? Like, you just kind of go on the shelves and pick out the stuff you want, you know? Which is good. You know, I like enterprising new business ideas. I think that's really cool of them to try something a little unconventional, you know? But of course, always make sure you leave something as a tip. All right, it's getting late, so a lot of these houses and stuff are locked. So why don't we check this lovely little inn here, the Moorside Inn, and then we'll get a bed for the night and start again tomorrow. Hello, sir. I already surveyed that guy. What about this guy? Oh, this person's a bard at the inn. And then, of course, back over here, owner of the place, keeper of the bar. You love to see it. And then we've also got this lady. Who are you? They say Hrogar burned down his house for you.
Do they? How delightful. I'm lucky to have a man that is so devoted to me.
What the heck does that mean? Why are you acting so creepy?
These people are like cattle.
That's a really weird thing to say about these people that are right next to you. Are you going to commit a terrorist attack? Your name is Alva. Alva, I think I walked by your house and it was locked. Maybe her house will contain some clues as to her employment. As a member of the Bureau, I am actually allowed to enter private abodes. I just have to, provided that I don't cause a disturbance while I'm there. Oh my God, sir. Please relax. I need to know if you're employed. Oh, jeez. I feel like that was self-defense. We're in agreement, I feel like, probably. What's your name, sir? Hrogar. Oh, Hrogar. This is the guy that is devoted to that woman.
I'm lucky to have a man that is so devoted to me.
So that explains why he's in her house. Or was in her house. Still is, I guess. Okay, well, most likely, if we hadn't come in here, we would have determined he was unemployed, because all he does is stay in her house. He's like an obsessed boyfriend. Because again, in an alternate universe where I didn't have to rightfully defend myself, obviously, from this attacker, I think it's pretty obvious that based on what she said, he was almost certainly unemployed, right? Is that fair? Anyway, let's look around. Let's look for clues to see if she is employed or unemployed. Immortal Blood by Anonymous. Hey, I've heard of them. Rising Threat Volume 3. It really does sound like, again, I haven't decided, but that really sounds like the type of book you would see in like the house of a domestic terrorist, you know? Creepy dungeon. Okay. Nothing in the coffin, thankfully. That's good. Some blood and bones, which is not a good sign, but not inherently an employment disqualifier. A lot more blood over here. Okay, so she most likely does some kind of weird human sacrifice kind of thing, and she has devoted followers, or she did have a devoted follower trying to start a cult possibly. So I guess the question becomes, is she making money from the cult? There is money out here on this table, which implies she's making money in some way. Maybe he steals her money, and her house is well kept. I mean, she's not some kind of lazy person, right? You have to be pretty dedicated and disciplined to. But does a cult count as like a business? Most likely the people that are following you, sort of dedicated to you, are going to be giving you money, right? Pretend the Census Bureau comes a knocking and says, Alva, are you employed? She'd probably say yes, right? I guess I'm just not really sure what the real world equivalent of this is. But honestly, I think it might be domestic terrorist. I guess there's an argument that you're not where is my pen? I can't ever keep track of these goddamn things. It's a tough one, really. It's a tough one. I think at the end of the day, if you've got followers and they're bringing you money, even if it's due to just your charisma or for whatever reason they're devoted to you, it's under the table, but I think it is a job. You know, like drug dealing. It still counts as employment. Okay, anyway, now that it's daytime, hopefully we can check out some of these other buildings. Wait, there's a third child. 1, 2, and then one of them just ran across the bridge. I can't tell them apart though. They all look the same, so I'm just gonna count any of them as the third child. It doesn't really matter. Now let's check out the guardhouse. Oh, it's locked. Are we not allowed in the guardhouse? Because I really need to get in there. Please don't hold it against me. But I've got work to do.
Stop right there.
All right, I'm being arrested. I don't know what the big deal is, why this guardhouse is locked, but I'll just bribe the police.
I think we can overlook your crime for now.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. You mind if I have a quick look around? They've also got a creepy basement in the guardhouse. Let's see what's down here. Hopefully not more sacrificial tombs. No. Oh, this is literally the prison. Okay, great. More employment in the prison. That's one. And that's it. Just the one. Anybody in jail? No, not a soul in jail. This is a low crime area, I guess. Okay, so that's most of the buildings done, I think. And then I believe the very last place we have to look is going to be the big Jarl's house, which is where all sort of the government lives, the seat of the local government. Excuse me, sorry. But I believe that's all of it. Yeah, we went there, there. Wait, did we go in? Yeah, we went in Faliant's house, Alva's house, yes, guard house. Let's go take a peek inside of the Capitol, or whatever. Capitol building. I always love the smell of a Capitol building because it smells like employment. So this is an obvious one, first and foremost. The Jarl herself, old but employed. And then back here, you look like some sort of bodyguard, right? You're talking like a bodyguard. So I think context clues, probably employed. And then what about these side rooms? Anyone in here? Beautiful bed. I wish I could sleep in that bed. Hello, sir. What are you doing? Playing Risk? This is like some sort of tabletop role-playing game you're playing? I'm just kidding, sir. I know you're doing important war business. Congratulations on your job for the army. And then in this room, also nobody. But I believe this is where that little... that kid lives with the sister or whatever, the guardian. And then we have one more guard. Thank you, guard, for your job. Thank you, guard. And I believe that wraps up Morthal. It's weird. It feels like something was missing. But as far as I can tell, we went in every house and we talked to every person. So all that's left to do is send all of this data off to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And they'll put it together into a press conference for you in 3, 2, 1. Press conference. Hello, folks. Hi, everybody. How are y'all doing today? Welcome to the press conference for the unemployment situation, or I'm sorry, excuse me, the employment situation in the city of Morthal in Skyrim. Before we get started, the Bureau wanted me to briefly address the incident with the enumerator, where the enumerator was put into a position where violence occurred. Upon reviewing the evidence in full, it actually turns out that the victim self-separated his own head prior to the axe even getting anywhere near there. So the third-degree murder charges will be dropped. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's get started. Total surface payroll employment for Morthal is at 18 persons, and unemployment is at an even 10%, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported today. Morthal is a medium-sized town in the hold of Hajal March, with a population of 25, largely consisting of working-age individuals employed in policing and defense industries. Economically, the city lacks a healthy variety of business that one might associate with a growing economy, but it does have two staples of the region. It has a multi-purpose tavern as well as a lumber mill. One potion supply store and one independent jeweler bookend the main street of the city. On paper, this is a good indicator of economic growth to see these sorts of independent, unique businesses crop up. However, one of the stores that we went to was entirely unmanned, for the duration of our visit, and the other one was run by a wizard that the entire town hated. Because of these factors, the Bureau believes it is likely that both of these businesses will fail, furthering the town's descent into a post-boom collapse. Now, none of this is reflected honestly in the unemployment rate, which is unexpectedly low, considering the state of the city. There's a couple of reasons that we believe this. So based on the overwhelming presence of federal troops in the city, including some sort of captain or garrison commander, the Bureau speculates that what was previously an unremarkable swamp town has been cloaked in federal treasure due to some sort of strategic importance in an ongoing conflict of some kind. This conclusion is supported by the fact that Morthal has no general store and no obvious blacksmith, meaning that somebody has been importing large quantities of weapons and armor to supply the police and military without giving access to that stuff to the citizens themselves. Now, this means that to conclude anything wholly positive about Morthal's future economically would be disingenuous, as it's likely that once the war itself comes to an end, most of that federal money will dry up and Morthal will be left either to reinvent itself through accepting the local wizard businesses, so to speak, or let superstition atrophy the few healthy limbs that the city has left. So 10% puts Morthal just behind Whiterun in Skyrim and significantly behind Solitude, one of its closest neighbors in the region. This data comes from a survey, blah, blah, blah. We don't ever need to know that. We at the Bureau, of course, wish them the best of luck, but that is going to conclude our press conference, as well as the video. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to support, I'm sure you can figure out how, just like all the people scrolling by did as well. Of course, I make a lot of music. I have a new song for you. That's going to wrap up the video. Thanks so much, everybody. I'll see you for the next unemployment report. Where shall we go? Probably back to Pokemon.
Finally, I made it to where they said I would, where I break down. And if I think real hard, I can make myself grow up.
Vermilion City. Nothing like the salty scallywags of this port town to imbue a sense of confidence in the economy. But what's really going on underneath the surface of this seaside paradise? How is the local economy doing? Well, that is what we're going to figure out today with our biggest Pokemon unemployment survey yet for Vermilion City. Now, of course, this isn't the first unemployment survey we've done for the region of Kanto and Pokemon, so if you're not caught up, certainly go start again. I think this is the fourth one. No, it's the fifth one, actually. We're making good progress, and I have a feeling this one is going to be a bit of an undertaking, because just walking around, I'm seeing a lot of variety in the, employment sectors, and a lot of buildings that we're going to have to explore and go in. However, we are going
why
to
not just
start
grab
by
the
surveying
veteran
everyone who's
porter
walking
stuff?
around outside, okay? Ready, set, go. Let's start with this person here. You do look like a child. I get so sweaty after doing sports that I end up feeling all grimy. The phrase doing sports very much feels like child talk. Pretty sure this is a child, ergo not applicable for the survey, but we'll mark it out for the population. Ah, here's a good one. A police officer, but like an old-timey police officer. Police officer says, how's Squirtle doing? I don't know what you're talking about, ma'am, but I do know that you have a job.
Crazy?
An elderly man. So the SS Anne has departed, he says. Oh, that's going to be interesting. Normally there's a big boat here called the SS Anne, and on that boat is a bunch of people. But the boat's gone now, so I can't survey it, which is probably fine, because I bet most of the people on that
Didn't I just grab
boat
this?
sort of live and work on the boat. Like if you're on a Carnival cruise, you're probably not counted among the population. And also the boat's not even on the continent anymore, so it's kind of an irrelevant question, but Oh well. Anyway, elderly man. Just based on looks alone. First of all, he looks kind of like me, but he also looks like someone who is retired. Right here, we've got a fisherman. This fisherman he's rented a house for people to hang out and share tips, if you know what I'm saying. So for now, I'm going to say employed, but if we visit his house later and we get more clues that he's not employed, we'll change it. Now, right here, we've got what's called a master trainer. We do not count master trainers in our survey. We don't consider them to be part of the population. If you want to know why, you can watch the other videos. Oh my god, a little blue man. A Machop is stomping the land flat. That seems like employed behavior. Excuse me, sir, is this Machop a slave of yours? This is my land, all of it. I own everything in this square area here. You are talking like a slave owner right now. Sitting down, doing absolutely nothing while this creature labors on your behalf. Okay, so the man is old enough to be retired, but he is building property and he owns land. It's a pretty big plot. A lot bigger than any of the other ones for the houses, which makes you think it's probably commercial. So if this guy's a commercial landowner and he has what might be an employee but also could be a slave, I guess he probably counts as employed? Is that fair to say? I don't love it, but, you know, it's objective fact. Okay, who else have we got down here? So returning to that question of, you know, we were talking about that boat that docks here. Listen to what this guy has to say. The SS Anne visits Vermilion Port just once a year. So I feel like that definitely counts out all the staff of the ship as being from here. If it's visiting just once a year, there's no way it's like docked here, right? So I think I can rest easy knowing that is not going to be a problem. Now this guy, he's dressed up as a sailor, standing on the dock providing information. Clear sign of employment to me. Which also means this guy definitely employed. We also have this, what is this, a schoolgirl? How about it? Want to try battling my fairy Pokemon? No. The fact that this kid says, how about it, Cantonian trainer, makes me think that this girl is not from Kanto. And also, not to get too meta, but this character design is like hella Pokemon X and Y, and not Pokemon Red Blue. So this is a foreigner, without a doubt, which means she doesn't count. Hello, Mr. Old. There's a lot of old people here, dude. This thing here isn't for resting your feet on, you know? It's for tying up your boat. Thanks for the info. He's dressed like he's working, but he's also kind of dressed like he's, I don't know, he just gives me like I'm visiting energy. Like he's in town for work, but he doesn't live here. But I don't really have anything to base that on. And he is providing me with important local knowledge, which I guess probably means that at least if we have to stake our life on it, he probably lives here. Which means we have another employed elderly man. What the heck's going on? Why are all the baby boomers taking our jobs?
Like, kinda went the wrong way.
How are you? If you take Arcanine out of its Pokeball, you can ride on it and move really fast. I believe you. Do you have a job? See, this is the thing. It's people like this that make this Pokemon survey so tricky. Because in Skyrim, at least, you can usually follow them, see what they're doing. But in Pokemon, we're working off of pretty minimal context clues. So what are we looking at here? What can we read into? Well, she's sitting cross-legged. Her body language is closed off. She's also in the center of the bench, which implies she's not waiting for someone because she doesn't want anyone to sit next to her. So she's alone. Maybe we should see what this building is to see if it makes sense that she would have just been there. Pokemon fan club, okay. She is talking about Pokemon and sitting next to the Pokemon fan club. But the Pokemon fan club probably isn't a job because it's a fan club, right? You go to an anime convention, you don't assume those people are employed. In fact, you assume they're probably unemployed. So I think you've got to go unemployed for her. Definitely seems to be a town with like a shipping industry, right? Because you got like all these crates and barrels and stuff like that. Though interestingly, I don't actually see any like unloading infrastructure or any like dock workers. I guess you could consider this guy, he's a master trainer, but you could think of him as like maybe he's a dock worker unloading stuff. All right, I believe that is everyone who is standing outside, which means next up we have to start going inside, and we are going to start with commercial buildings. We'll do houses after that. First commercial building, always my favorite. Got this handsome, strapping young lad here who has a job. Okay, hello, sir. You look very official. There are wicked people out there who use Pokemon to do awful things. I would say he looks like he's probably of working age. He is shopping, and he's going on a rant about crime. And if you add all that up, you figure he's a nicely dressed young man, actively shopping, good posture, complaining about crime, spreading rumors about local gangs. That tends to be the behavior of people who do have jobs. That's just a pattern. I'm not saying any of that's definitive. It is all circumstantial, but it's probably the best that I'm going to get right now. And plus, look at his sleeves, how they're rolled up, and his boots. Put all that together, and we're starting to paint a picture here. Now, we also got this lady over here, another shopping lady. I think Pokemon can be good or bad. Depends on the trainer. Is this a gun control thing? This lady looks like the lady who was sitting on the bench, but she is actively doing things. Is it possible that these two people are together? Because if you figure this guy's complaining about local gangs, and she's basically making sort of an argument for gun control, except it's Pokemon, politically, there's an overlap between them. I think these two people, I think they might be in a relationship. So I think what I'm going to do is say that one of them's a breadwinner and one of them is just like a stay-at-home partner. Given that this is Pokemon, it's probably the man is the breadwinner and the woman is the person who doesn't work. That's not me saying that. I'm just saying Pokemon so far tends to be pretty normative in its relationship roles. But regardless of who you consider which, I'm going to count one employed, one not applicable for this little couple here. Anyway, let's take a look in the Pokemon Center. Pokemon Center, of course, is the equivalent of a hospital, so you have at least one employed nurse. Over here, we got this guy sitting on a bench, hiking, likes to trade Geodudes. I don't think there's actually much local hiking around this city, if I recall. Let me look at the map here. Oh, I guess there's Diglett's
Lightweight,
Cave.
800,
Okay, so
kind
there's
of
some
crazy.
local hiking, so this guy could be a local. But he is fixated on trading Geodudes, so he has like Pokemon trainer energy. And I feel like most people who are dressed for like multiple days of camping and they're involved in the Pokemon trade probably are itinerant Pokemon trainers. So I'm not going to count this guy. Now, Mr. Fisherman, we know that that's like a local profession, right? And check this out. Bags under his eyes. My man's not sleeping enough, and that is a classic sign of modern full-time employment. Which, combine that with his outfit, combine that with the location, I'm convinced. And, oh, look, it's my favorite Sonic the Hedgehog kid. I love this kid. He looks like he runs fast. All right, what other places of business are there here? Of course, you can't forget the local Pokemon gym. I like these types of places because you get a lot of free employment here. So number one, this guy. A lot of people have argued with me and said, actually, this guy is the same guy in every gym. He just travels around as you do. But I don't buy it because how does he know where I'm going? Now, we got 3 people in here, all of whom who are working at the gym. One of them is old. But again, you can be employed when you're old, I guess. It's just if you're not, it doesn't count against it, I suppose, right? Is that fair? So all 3 of these people, definitely employed. And then, of course, we got this guy. This guy looks like he was in the army. And of course, he is the gym leader of the Vermilion City Gym, which does make him extremely employed. Now, as far as businesses, that just leaves this Pokemon fan club thing. So in here, we've got a bunch of people sitting around thinking about how much they love Pokemon. This guy has a picture of himself up on the wall, and it looks like a bunch of accolades, which first of all is badass to sit in front of a picture of you wearing the same outfit. I'm the chairman of the Pokemon fan club. Chairman that's job energy, right? So this guy's probably employed. Now, this lady is standing next to him in sort of an assistant-like pose, but let's talk to her and see. She says, "Our chairman," which implies that she's kind of part of the organization, but maybe she's just a member of the club. But if she's just a member of the club, why isn't she sitting down like everybody else? Why is she standing as though the chairman is about to yell at her to go get a coffee or something, you know? And be like, "Denise, fetch me my 2017 Chairman of the Fan Club Safety Award." So I think based on her body language, I'm saying she's probably employed working for the chairman here. But these 2 people, I'm less convinced. I just adore my seal. It squeals when I hug it. Maybe they pay to be part of the Pokemon fan club to, like, learn. So maybe it's like a learning institution. Like if you've ever seen those people go to those, like Southern hospitality, like good manners things. Like remember when Borat did that? Listen politely to other trainers when they're showing off their adorable Pokemon. Yeah, so it's kind of like those classes, right? If someone brags
All right,
right
you
back
better like
10
this.
times more than them. That's the kind of advice I expect from a man sitting in front of a poster of himself. I do think this is the type of thing you sign up for when you're unemployed. Because, you know, you're like trying to figure out what you want to do with your life. So you like sign up for a local class, you know? Because if you were employed, you would have to be at work and probably have bills to pay. Whereas the only reason these people are here is probably because they don't have bills to pay, but they've got money to burn, so they come and join this class to try and find meaning in life. So I think I'm going to say they're both unemployed. All right, that's all of the commercial businesses out of the way, which means last thing we got to do is show up to people's residences unannounced. And that's what we're going to do. First residence, we've got kid. Hey, wait a second. It looks like that person is like scolding their kid. And you got one of those guys over on the couch. So the guys dressed like this, these are like young Republicans.
Yes.
They start families young.
You're not all talk, that's for sure. So, fuck it, let's do this. Make me part of the UCA.
Yes!
This is only the beginning, you know. We better get it right this time, Sam. Got something I thought you could use. Take it if you want. Leave it if you don't.
Bridges Energy Backpack Accessory.
Thank you, Sam. Let's do this again, huh? Good work. New order.
Okay. Do I need to do these? Are any of these in the direction that I'm heading? I didn't actually look. Weather station, like, yeah. Maybe, actually. Hang on. We can go down to the Timefall Farmer.
Thanks for dropping by. Weapons restrictions lifted.
And they go shopping with their partners young. So the family dynamic here seems to be young father, young mother, 2 children, married straight out of high school. That's kind of the vibe. When the ring's color is green, it means the Pokemon is easy to catch, right? She's teaching this child about how to catch Pokemon. She's educating, homeschooling the kid perhaps, which is also kind of in line with this general narrative we're seeing about these sort of like young conservative families, which also fits the narrative of this being a town led by like a former military guy, right? So Vermilion City's kind of like a red state, you know? A little bit. Is that fair? Is that the story that we're kind of getting together? You've got that young alt-right couple in the market. You've got this young conservative family homeschooling their kids. You've got the land owner, possibly slave owner, weird southern
Possibly
hospitality
slave
manners
owner.
school, and you've got the military guy running everything. Makes sense to me, which means we're going like this for all these 4. Everything is starting to make sense now. Also starts to explain why there's so many old guys here. Okay, next house. Oh my god, another old dude. I'm particularly fond of bird Pokemon. I'm particularly fond of counting you as retired. Okay, I believe this is the last residence that we have to go in. And then our survey is pretty much complete. Let's take a look, shall we? Oh, a young bohemian couple. There's always one in every town. See, I was right. They're getting their Pidgey to fly a letter instead of just using the telephones and the internet and the electronics. And this lady is expressing a desire to travel the world. That's also a very young liberal couple thing to do. Okay, so we found the one leftist couple in the city. And of course, they're expressing a desire to like send letters to other places and leave this town. But in terms of employment, what are we thinking? If you've got time to train a bird to send letters for you, that doesn't bode well. And you're also standing in the corner with a rat. Is it possible they're in school? They do seem pretty young, but there's not a school here really. And honestly, the energy in this house is, you know, we're in a relationship, but we're not married. We don't have kids. Instead, we have pets, you know? That's like a very sort of hip thing to do or whatever. I could see them both having like minimum wage jobs, or maybe one of them having a minimum wage job, and it's probably her, to be honest. She's actually expressing a desire to like do things that require money. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna count her as employed and them as unemployed. And that, I believe, is going to wrap up our survey. There are not any additional people who are believably part of the city on either of the routes attached to the city. You can take my word for it. So I'll compile this data, send it over to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and they will write a report which you can view at a press conference in 3, 2, 1, press conference. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Welcome to another employment situation summary today from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Today we're going to be looking at the city of Vermilion City in the region of Kanto, and I do not have any extra information for you today, so let's get started. Total surface payroll employment for Vermilion City is at 19 persons, and unemployment is at 17.4%. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported today. Vermilion City is a medium-sized port city with a population of 32, disproportionately elderly, which we'll talk more about later, but still majority working age. The city is geographically positioned to take advantage of the waters of the titular Vermilion Harbor, and the bulk of the city's economic business seems to be appropriately in shipping and cruise tourism. Though the season seems slow, at the time of our survey, there was plenty of evidence that the industry is still very much active and thriving, despite what appears
there's
to
the
be a
new
fairly
one.
high unemployment rate. As far as explanation,
There's the new one. I don't know. Do we just do that? We'll go back to the first prepper again. Nah, maybe we go down to the
for
veteran
this fairly
border,
high
get a change of
unemployment rate,
pace.
the Bureau generally believes that Vermilion City is likely the direct recipient of some sort of extra local assistance, federal, in one way or another, as well as the indirect beneficiary of either long-established or literally generational wealth held in the hands of its citizens. The Bureau's reasons for believing this are multifaceted. So, having someone who is either current or former military in the only discernible position of power in this city, which is the case, the gym leader appears to at least be former, maybe even current military. So that, combined with the high rate of geriatric men pacing around the city, suggests some sort of federal funding. Now, the Bureau, we use the term federal in this case as a stand-in for whatever resource distribution method Kanto uses, as the exact system of governance is not clear. We believe those resources are either distributed as a product of merit, like for example the GI Bill that America used post-World War II, or simply as a result of Mr. Surge knowing the right people due to his time in the military, whatever that means in this context. On this matter, the Bureau is also open to the idea that Vermilion City's position is more locally driven, maybe as the result of civil conflict that ended in the city's favor, but we believe that the former theory is more likely, or I should say the federal theory is more likely. In either case, the result of this is that there seems to be plenty of resources available, or there seem to be plenty of resources available, that's what it says, to the citizens of Vermilion City, to the point that not only do the elderly find it a suitable place to retire and play act laboring vis-a-vis property ownership and landlording, but plenty of able-bodied individuals don't seem to have a strong impetus to contribute to the production side of the production-consumption split. Now, as far as concerns or economic concerns go, that's the main focus of our report today. Any economic system that wants to be sustainable long-term is best served by having some way of self-balancing itself internally, and it's unclear if Vermilion City does. This tension can be resolved federally or cooperatively, especially in the short term, which may be the case here, but it's hard to tell just based on our survey to date. Now, the Bureau, we're also looking into the idea that maybe no sort of economic system can be self-balancing. Maybe that's just, it has to sort of be, like it says here, federally or cooperatively resolved, but the research on that is still out from our perspective. So 17.4% puts Vermilion City behind the previously surveyed Cerulean City in Kanto, but still well ahead of the small town of Pallet. This data comes from a direct survey conducted by the Bureau over 2 days, and that is the end of our report. It is also the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please post a comment down below saying that you liked it. If you really liked it and you want to help, if you really liked it and you want to help make more videos like this happen, consider supporting me on Patreon, like all of the names you see here have done. I can't do this without those people's help, so thank you very much to them. Somebody is doing work outside my house. We're halfway done with our complete survey of Kanto. I wonder how it will shake out. In the meantime, please enjoy the song today, and I will see you in the future.
Everybody likes me, everybody likes me, everybody likes me. Everybody likes me, everybody likes me, everybody likes me. Everybody likes me, everybody.
The town of Dawnstar, an often forgotten little port town on the northern coast of Skyrim, nestled between ancient mountains and the chilly northern sea. But what's really going on underneath the surface of this odd and hardworking town? How is the local economy doing? Well, that is what I'm going to figure out today as we do another unemployment report, this time for the city of Dawnstar. Okay,
Can I not
hello,
grab
folks.
something for
I have
this
a question
place?
for you. What is the best
No,
way to get a
actually.
sense of the unemployment in a local area? That's right, we've got to do a direct survey of all the citizens of Dawnstar, every single one, including this little kid. And then we will add up all of that data and present it to you in a press conference at the end. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. It looks like Dawnstar is kind of shaped in a half circle around this little bay. So I'm going to start on the far end of the half circle and then work my way around just so I can keep my head on straight. Of course, there are plenty of guards in any city in Skyrim, and typically we count all of the guards at the end, which I think we will probably do again today. Now, we're going to start with everybody who's outside first and foremost, and on the far end of the town, we have these two gentlemen. This is a good sign, let me tell you.
If I get any rest soon, count myself richer than a king.
Ay, ay, ay. That is a working man's face if I ever seen one. My God.
I just hide
look at him.
myself right now. We're not really.
Work the smelter.
This man works. He's proud of his work, but he does really
just
want
vibing.
a break. So hopefully his boss can give him one. That's none of my business. He's employed. Now, what about you, sir? How are you? Legal.
I own the Quicksilver mine. It's a better life than working in that damned Ironbreaker mine.
Okay, so he owns a mine. Well, we also saw him actively working over there. So in addition to owning the mine, he also works in the mine, which is good. You like to see an owner that's actually putting in some work. And that does, of course, make him employed. Now, he did say something interesting, which is he owns a mine and his mine is better than another mine. So the fact that there are at least 2 mines in this town does mean that we are looking at a mining town situation. And that usually means lots of health problems, but also lots of employment. And it also means we're going to have 2 mines to look inside of, but I guess we'll take care of that later. Down on the docks here, we got a couple of folks sitting on a boat. How are you doing, boat people? What's your name?
I plan to spend all the days I got left on the water.
Okay, that implies that you're quite old, but it also kind of implies that you're working on this boat, because this does not look like a sort of a recreational skiff. So this guy works on this boat, even though he's old enough to retire, just because he loves it. You know, like I was saying, mining towns, a lot of sadness, a lot of stress, a lot of overworked people, but a lot of working people. For example, this elf is working. You look like you work on this boat as well, is that true?
Not a day goes by that I don't think about finding a new ship.
Well, that's great news. Looks like you're doing a great job swabbing the poop deck, my elven friend. And who are you?
I want my crewmen to enjoy their work.
Not a day goes by that I don't think about finding a new ship.
Crewman? Well, that's a lovely philosophy you have there, Mr. Employed Ship Captain, it sounds like. You can be empathetic, but don't be pushover. That's my advice to you, Mr. Boatman. Anybody out this way? A lot of houses. Oh, got someone sitting up here. Who are you?
I'm so tired.
Yeah, that's what it is when you live in a place like this. No. Well, there you go. She helps her husband run the forge. What can you tell me about this place, Seren? Any information that might be helpful?
Not much.
Okay, thanks. You must be this woman's husband, is that right?
Seems like no one is getting a decent night's rest in Dawnstar, stranger.
Well, that's because everyone's getting a decent day of work, you know? Now, can you please stand up and turn around so I can put the thing... Yeah, thank you. Turn around. Perfect. Stand right there. Oop, a couple of folks walking around here. What do we got? Looks like a rich person and a bodyguard, is that right? Are you employed? You are wearing like a rich person's garb, and you do look old as hell. So maybe you're just like a retired rich person?
Horik and I have lived here ever since I retired.
Oh, amazing. I appreciate you being forthright about it. Now, that does mean that this is your bodyguard, right? He also looks extremely old, but still employed. You know, these people just, they won't give up their work, no matter what happens. Not a lot of people out and about in this place. Oh, hello.
The Museum of the Mythic Dawn is open, friend.
Oh, you own a museum? Wow. It's really cool that you're a museum owner.
Let's talk inside.
Sure, I'll ask you about your employment inside. I don't think it is really up for question, but, you know, I'll take a look and just make sure it's a legitimate business. Okay, this does look an awful lot like a house, but I guess you've got some display cases over here.
I'll just be tending the museum if you need me.
Okay, well,
Only.
I appreciate all of your kindness telling me a bunch of stuff I don't know anything about, but I think that's all the information I need from you. Ooh, a sad man on a boat. Is this our first unemployed person?
Looking to hire a boat?
Oh, hire a boat. Okay, so you do have a job. Well, unfortunately, I don't need to leave yet, but maybe when we do our survey of Winterhold, you can take me there, because I believe that's on the coast. But for now, Harlog, only thing I need from you is a smiling, happy working face. Not trying to jinx it, but so far, we have a literal 100% employment rate in this old town of Dawnstar. Uh-oh. A drinking man. Oh, no, this is that one guy.
All right,
yeah,
we
he
gotta
works
do
at the
more
mine, so
war.
everything's fine. He doesn't count. All right, is there anybody else outside? I know there's at least one more mine, so I should probably go look for it. Oh, a couple more people up here. This place is deceptively large. Thought it was going to be a small little place, but no. Hello, sir.
Can't sleep well no matter how much drink I put in me.
Drinking actually makes you sleep worse. Maybe you should try and cut the addiction.
I'm no one special. Just a miner who swings a pickaxe for his drinking money.
Oh, that does make you special, though, doesn't it? Because swinging a pickaxe is employment. Man, you look like you're doing all the work. This guy's just hanging out. Oh, wow, that was very aggressive. You must be the owner of this mine.
I own Ironbreaker.
Oh, there you go.
I pay a good wage for any iron ore you dig up.
How much is a good wage? Is that like an actual good wage, or is it like when you get a job and it says competitive wages, but it actually just means the bare minimum? I suppose I can't ask that question in Skyrim. But hey, congratulations on owning and being employed in this mine. Nice. Okay, and then there's you. You definitely work, right? Wow, look at this labor happening right now. Remember, labor is life, even if it kills you. Okay, anybody else? Got a guard here. I'll take care of that later. Another guard up here. And that looks like about the edge of town. This is like a little farm.
Need something?
Ah! A child. Why are you carrying a pot? Where are your parents, kid?
They're dead.
Oh, okay. What are you hurrying around for, little kid? Are you doing some sort of labor?
I'm running food and supplies to the miners.
Wow, even the kids are working here. See, I knew this was going to be the type of place that had a lot of employment. Now, kids don't actually count towards our survey in terms of the employment numbers because we try not to encourage child labor whenever possible. But I know a lot of you argue that I should count the kids when they're employed, but I can't just start now, you know? What the heck is this? Is this a dead body? Oh, shit. Fruki. If Fruki was alive, it looks like Fruki would have been employed, but Fruki has unfortunately passed away at the time of the survey. Rest in peace, Fruki. Rest in peace, Fruki. May you rest in peace, Fruki. Let's see. Is that all of the outdoor laborers aside from the guards? I guess let's do another quick lap around and see. Got those two. I got the mines. I got those two. I got the museum guy. That looks like everybody outside. Okay, great. In that case, let's move on. Next up, we got to start going inside. Now, we do have the 2 mines that we have to look in for more laborers. We're going to do that at the end. We're going to do exactly as expected. We're going to go from one end of the town all the way to the other end of the town, going building by building, door to door, to find all the employment we can. Now, I am going to pop my head back in the museum here, just in case someone else has gone in there. But most likely, it's just going to be that one guy. Yes. Nobody else.
I have to sneeze.
Hello, sir. Next up, we have, this looks like a residential home.
Hello,
one
friend.
thing a lot of people don't know is that working for the
sneeze.
Bureau of Labor Statistics, you actually you have permission to break and enter into people's homes as long as you don't
Alright, it's just one.
cause a disturbance. It's still recommended that you wait for the police to not be around because they tend to not know about that law. All right, let's see if there's anybody in here.
Stop right there.
Okay, well, that didn't work. Next up, we got this double-decker house. Usually, this buildings like this have a place of business underneath, and this one looks like it has some sort of apothecary, little potion store. So we'll pop our head in here. Hello, old lady. How are you? You run this shop?
Let me know if you come down with the rattles.
I really like your shop, lady. It's super well organized. Very, very
this guy's
clean,
good.
very tidy. Thank you for not only being employed, but also, you know, running a nice place of business. Well, this is like the seat of the government. I guess we can jump in here now, take care of all this. Because you know there's going to be plenty of unemployment, or sorry, excuse me, plenty of employment in the government. Maybe people who should be unemployed, but... Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? What's your name, sir?
Just a servant of Skald the Elder.
Oh, you're a servant.
There's no honor in being a Jarl's servant.
Well, there is spiritual honor in laboring, and you are laboring. Up here, of course, we have some sort of guard. That's wonderful. Definitely a job.
I've been in charge of Donscar for over 35 years.
I would have guessed it'd be 3,500 years based on those arms. Another Skeletor man who is employed, but should probably retire. Let's check this back room here. Oh, a wizard.
I cut enough young lives short. I'm not gonna do it again.
Beggars can't be choosers. If you're gonna work, if someone wants you to murder people. What about you, sir? Oh boy, you look like an army man. And if I know anything about army men, it's that they're employed. Okay, that's everyone in the castle. Nice place. Everyone in here is kind of a downer, but it's fine. This isn't a happiness survey, it's an employment survey. Maybe if we do a happiness survey of Skyrim, we can see like which place has the happiest citizens. But that sounds like too much work for me. Okay, I just did a run around on all of the residential houses here. It does seem like pretty much all of them are people that we either have talked to or will talk to outside. The only one I'm not 100% sure on is Irgnir, so I do have to figure out who that is. But aside from that, all the residential houses are not going to be relevant to the rest of this survey, which means there's just a couple more buildings that I have to do over here. Building number 1, what is this? Oh, this looks like
you fucking
this is a guard
shoot me.
house. I'll come count the guards later, but I guess let's look in the
Don't shoot my truck.
see if there's anybody in there. Hello, prisoners. Any prisoners today?
I have a lot of respect for the Restoration School.
Okay, you got no prisoners today? No? Alright. And then, of course, we have to check the local inn, because you know there's about to be at least a couple employed people in here. Good evening, people of the inn.
Uh-oh, I forgot they could do that.
Nice, look at this. We got a bard. And it's a drumming bard, which is good. Santa Claus.
No.
This is another employed man. Now, what's your deal? Do you work here? Is that like a cleaning bucket? Are you a maid? What's wrong with everyone around here? Why is everyone so sad?
The entire town is being plagued by horrible nightmares.
So this guy's like a wizard, and he's come here to like fix everyone in the town from being depressed all the time, which is really pretty noble. That does kind of imply that he isn't from here and he's just kind of visiting. At least the way he talks, that's what it sounds like. So I feel like almost certainly this guy's not a resident. And that's everyone in the inn. How nice. Okay, now I believe that aside from counting all the guards, that's going to be everyone inside of any buildings. We have one more big undertaking before wrapping it up with the guards, and that is to... Wow, you're just staying out here working? Anyway, yeah, we have to go in the mines and see if there's anybody in there. It's entirely possible that all the workers were just working out here, but, you know, it is my duty to be certain. So we're gonna start here with mine number 1. Pop our heads in. Hopefully we don't find anything unsavory in here. Hello? Anybody in here? Oh, there is a person in here. What's your name, miss?
Here to dig, that's all.
Wow, fair enough. Look at this guy. He's working well into the night. What is it?
Oh,
It's
they're
like
on the machine gun.
It's almost 10 p.m. This guy's swinging away, and he's got a backup pickaxe, so he doesn't have to go sharpen it.
Been working in Ironbreaker since I was a boy.
Since you were a boy. Okay, so child labor definitely on the table culturally, as is adult labor, which this guy's an example of. Is there anybody else in here, or is it just you two? I think it's just you two from what I can tell. And you guys are, man, you're really burning the midnight oil. Trying to get that iron out, but it sounds like you get paid by the iron rather than by the hours, so might as well work while those muscles are good, right? Okay, now it's time for mine number 2. Let's see if this one's any less jolly. Immediately the vibes are a little bit less sort of regulated in here. Definitely a little more haphazard, but okay. You still got some employment. How are you, sir? Having a nice time working?
Quicksilver ore is rare, worth digging.
Man, these people are like junkies for digging, I'll tell you. Man, they are perfectly in sync. Do you think they do that on purpose? This is like a very depressing existence, isn't it?
Mining is an honest trade. No real tricks to it.
You're not wrong. You know, I know in some ways it's not that different, you know, with like modern jobs, but I sure am glad that our jobs aren't as much like that anymore. And the ones that are like that, like working on an oil rig, you get paid like a gajillion dollars to do. Actually, that's not true, because people work in like slaughterhouses for $7 an hour. So I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I believe that is everything. I think that the only thing left is to sprint around and count the guards. Is that right? Got Frukies, Quicksilver Mine, yes. All these houses, yes. Brina's, yes. Yeah. I think that's all of the buildings. So all that remains for us to do is to count all the guards. So let's do it as best we can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. 8 guards. Okay, I can deal with that. All right, that is gonna wrap up our survey of Dawnstar. And if I'm not mistaken, this is gonna be a pretty historic press conference. So I'm going to send my survey data off to the Bureau. They will write their little report, and I will have a press conference for you in 3, 2, 1. Press conference. All right. Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another employment situation summary. Today we are going to be discussing the city of Dawnstar in Skyrim, but before we start, the Bureau did want me to communicate to you ahead of time that though this report is pretty remarkable, we will not be sort of delving into the excitement of it. We're sticking to the facts, as we always do here at the Bureau. That's what we do, right? Facts don't care about your feelings, even if that feeling is positive excitement. So, shall we begin? Total surface payroll employment for Dawnstar is at 33 persons, and unemployment is at 0%, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported today. Dawnstar is a medium-sized port city located on the northern coast of Skyrim, and it serves as a fairly busy and important trading stop for a variety of industries that serve the greater Skyrim region. In addition to providing resupplying and shelter for trade ships, the city is also a prolific mining town, home to 2 active mines that both provide iron and a foreign ore called Quicksilver that we don't have on Earth. So I don't really know what that means. At the time of the Bureau's survey of Dawnstar, and this is what is so remarkable about this report, we were unable to find a single unemployed citizen in the city, and in fact, we struggled to locate anyone who wasn't actively laboring while meeting with our enumerator, including children and the elderly. Much of the employment revolves around the 2 mining companies that work on opposite ends of the municipality. You've got miners to mine raw ore, smelters to make use of the raw ore, a blacksmith to make use of the processed ore, and of course an active shipping port to export goods to the rest of Skyrim. Having one city sort of nearly fully vertically integrated in this way likely makes Dawnstar one of the most ruthlessly efficient local economies in all of Skyrim. That said, a 0% unemployment rate isn't without its risks or idiosyncrasies. the specifics of which can only be known when we look at the underlying systems that have put Dawnstar in this position in the first place. In some ways, it's difficult to pin down, but there are a few facts on the table that guide the Bureau's conclusions. Number one, the workforce that we surveyed was largely tired, conflict-averse, and dispirited. Number two, owners and operators of most of the businesses in the city participate in the labor of those businesses, and most of them are relatively well tolerated by their workers. So that's unusual. That's not like a sort of, as we've talked about in the past, that's not capitalism run amok necessarily, right? It could be, but not necessarily. Number three, the local governor, also known as Jarls in sort of Skyrim parlance, I'm picking up the local lingo as we do our surveys. The local governor is a very angry and very wealthy man, perhaps the only truly wealthy individual in the city, including the owners of the mine. So while at first glance, Dawnstar may look like a classic example of company-town capitalism gone predictably awry, based on our observations of where all this vast resource wealth is actually ending up, something tells us that the local governor is not keen on having much of it taxed or tariffed by the federal government. Certainly if you talk to him, he will tell you just as much. It actually appears more like an example of top-down fascist capitalism vis-a-vis whoever's writing these reports is getting a little European with her language. Vis-a-vis 1990s China, rather than the slightly more organic inequality of localized business dictatorship that we saw in early 20th century America. Now, because this universal workforce participation rate, right, this 0% unemployment rate, remarkable as it is, because it is in some sense then held together by force, the Bureau doesn't feel that Dawnstar will suffer any of these so-called downsides of low unemployment that you might hear about when discussing more free-roaming market economies like the United States of 2023, for example. Labor does not seem to move quite as freely here as in the United States, and overall social mobility seems impossible, or at least constrained. This isn't to say that the Bureau approves of the governor's methodology for sustaining this level of unemployment. Indeed, any economy can prop itself up with fascism in the short term, just that where the situation will rear the worst of its effects isn't necessarily going to be comparable to a typical pseudo-free market economy. This is a long report. So where does that leave Dawnstar long term? Well, it's kind of hard to predict, according to the Bureau. There have been plenty of historical examples of these kinds of forced labor economies functioning for decades, and plenty more where they violently collapse or quietly atrophy into new systems of resource redistribution, like social democracies or free market wage servitude. It will likely largely depend on the outcome of the overarching civil conflict in Skyrim, but the Bureau does believe that given Dawnstar's resource abundance and position as a key port, the city does have the potential for sustained economic greatness into the far future if the chips fall appropriately. 0% puts Dawnstar at the top of our list, ahead of the imperial capital of Solitude. This data comes from a direct survey conducted by the Bureau over 5 days. So, a lot to digest there. Certainly, if you have any questions, you can post those down in the comments, and I'll do my best to relay them to the Bureau, get you some high-quality answers. Thank you so much for watching this press conference. Another thing you can post down in the comments is, if you like this video, post down below so I know that you liked it, so you want me to make more things like that. Where should we go next in Skyrim? That's the question. We want to do the whole region, and we're probably, halfway done with all the major cities, I think? Well, if you want to support my continued enumeration of Skyrim, you can certainly go to our Patreon. The names you see scrolling by on the screen, these are the people that make these types of videos happen, so thank you if you are one of them. And certainly if this is the first unemployment report you've watched, you've got plenty more to see on the channel. Thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy the song today, and I will see you next time.
My lack of money and my want for something more. Tuning in my favorite places at the grocery store at 3 a.m. And I know what I'm talking about. And I know what I'm talking.
The Lavender Town of Lavender Town. A quaint little town with a big, creepy vibe. Could it be the eerie purple stones? Could it be all the old people? Or could it have something to do with the Tower of Dead Pokemon? Well, that's not really any of my business. The only thing that is my business is how is the local economy doing? And that is what we are going to find out today as we do yet another unemployment survey in the world of Kanto, this time for Lavender Town. Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to another unemployment survey. Does anyone out there know what the best way to get a sense of the local unemployment is? That's right. We're doing a direct survey of the population, which means we're going to talk to every single person here, determine their employment status, and then at the end we will synthesize all of that information and present it to you in a press conference. We'll start by surveying everybody outside, then we'll go inside and take care of everybody else. So without further ado, let's walk on over to this lady here and start. Hello, lady. Take one look at this lady and you can tell exactly what her job is. Old. Retirement. So what about you, lady? This lady says, do you believe in ghosts? I don't believe in ghosts, ma'am. I'm a data-driven person. That white hand on your shoulder, I'm just imagining it. Okay, this is child behavior right here. Trying to pull a prank on a local government official. Come on. It's the behavior of a child. It's crazy how much money they must have spent on dyeing all of this, like, stone. Unless it's like that rubber. You know, have you ever been to like a children's playground where it has like that rubber floor? Maybe that's what this is. It's like printed rubber. What about you, sir? This town is famous for all the graves made here for Pokemon. They hold memorial services in Pokemon Tower. Okay. His clothes are nice. Got a nice haircut. It's not really helpful. I mean, the rule we typically use is that if there's no reason to believe someone's employed, that they're probably unemployed, assuming they're eligible, which I guess kind of means too bad, so sad. This person says, I bet someone brave like you could go up the Pokemon Tower, no problem. That also sounds like a child talking. Like, that's how a kid talks. You're never going to walk up to someone on the street and like an adult who has a job, and they're not going to go to you, I bet someone brave like you could go to the local haunted house. It's just not, that's not how adults talk. So we have another child. I think that's everybody outside, and there's not a single bit of employment. But, to be fair, most of the time, employment places are inside buildings. So I imagine once we get in the buildings, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna start to shoot up. So in terms of buildings, why don't we start where we know there's gonna be employment? The Pokemart. Oh man, there's a lot of people in here. First of all, an easy one. Everyone's favorite handsome mart worker. Then we got another kid right here, little Sonic the Hedgehog kid, as I like to say. Down. And now we got this working-age gentleman here. He's shopping, so that's a good sign that he has money. I'm searching for items that boost a Pokemon stats for the length of one battle. Okay, do you know where I can get them? Probably here. What are you, blind? Oh my god. He is blind. All right. So what do we know? Well-dressed man. I mean, usually when we see a person who's dressed like this, we go, probably, just based on how they're dressed.
That was
this
a
looks
pretty
like
crazy
someone who
jump.
probably has a job, right? Belt.
And my
shirt,
stuff's damaged.
Balding hair, indicating stress. Nice shoes. He's shopping. Signs
1%,
point to yes. Okay. And you know, he does kind of have like divorced father buying a gift for like his kid that lives with his mother, you know, and he doesn't really understand all this Pokemon battle nonsense because he's too busy having a job. Yeah, you know what? I'm convinced. This man's employed. All right, what about you, child? I hate that every time we meet these kids that are dressed in these outfits, they get, my blood starts boiling. I think I must have been bullied by someone who dressed like this at some point because there's something deep. Anyway, that's it for the Pokemart. Now we're going to go to the Pokemon Center, which will also definitely have some employment. That's the nice thing about Pokemon, you know, is you're never going to find a place with no employment, right? Because everywhere has a Pokemon Center, everywhere has a Pokemart, and anywhere that has a Pokemon Center has a nurse, and that nurse is employed. Nurse Joy, more like Nurse Employ. Then we got one of these guys. Team Rocket will do anything for the sake of money. These guys are always complaining about Team Rocket. They're always complaining. It's like the people complaining about the gangs. Look at how you're dressed. How many people did you defraud when you were making your money so you could retire and dress like that? How many dubious loans did you write? You know, like that's what I'm saying. It's all the same stuff. We complain, but you do the same thing anyway. Is this guy actively working? Maybe, but he's in a hospital, so he's probably just visiting. His wife is probably in a Pokeball getting healed or something. So like his old lady wife. So I'm gonna assume he's just retired, which means he doesn't count. Another Sonic the Hedgehog kid standing like a Sonic the Hedgehog kid. And then we have this lady. Hi. Do Cantonian Diglett look smooth? My Diglett looks prickly. Do you want to trade Diglett? No. I don't think I'm old enough. You're playing hardball. What are we talking about here? You think these three are together? You think it's her kid, and then this grandpa? You think they're part of one group? They're all kind of visiting the same person in the hospital? I do feel like a lot of the time people with jobs don't have time to be MILFs. You know, I don't know why I think that, but it seems like typically the sort of like I'm trying to sleep with the strapping young enumerator from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. That's like a quality that comes from people who are stay-at-home moms, possibly of this child. So we'll say she's a stay-at-home mom, which means she's not applicable. And then over here we have, this is gotta be a child, right? It's definitely a child. Yeah, she says, I was so scared. Everyone knows that adults don't get scared. Okay, next, let's look in here. What is this? Pokemon House, where love is volunteered freely. Okay, who's in here? Bald guy, 2 children. What are you doing, sir? Oh, it's Mr. Fuji. I've heard of him. Okay, so we have Mr. Fuji hanging out in, kind of looks like a daycare, to be honest. Is it like an orphanage? Like maybe Mr. Fuji runs an orphanage called the Pokemon House. I could see that, but I guess I'm just confused as to what is he doing? Because he's got the kids like cooking, you can see over there, which is what orphans do. They cook and clean. Yeah, I think Mr. Fuji is an orphanage owner. That's weird, but it's, I mean, it's a job, probably, right? So Mr. Fuji's employed, even though he probably could retire based on that those wrinkles. Now let's go into these people's houses, see how they're doing. 1 child alone in a house, again with the kids. And then this house just has 1 old man in it who says, be sure to name your Pokemon with love. After all, nobody wants to have a silly name. You should go tell that to Mr. Fuji. It's not a silly name, actually. That was kind of racist of me to say that. We've looked in all of the buildings. We've talked to all the people outside. So there's only one more place that we have to look, which is this giant tower, which I believe is it's a tower full of Pokemon corpses, dead Pokemon, which is weird, but maybe a place of employment? I don't know. Kind of like a church.
This is it.
I guess churches are filled with people who will soon be dead,
This is it.
not dead people. But actually, it looks kind of official in here. This.
Give me 5 stars. Come on, come on, come on.
Delivering cargo.
Howdy, Sam. Ain't many porters that can carry a load this size. Wonder if it's all that Bridges issue gear that makes the difference.
Ah!
Got something for you. Reckon you'll need.
Yeah!
Thanks again, Sam. Be seeing you.
Good work. New order available. Please access.
Sorry, bud. Not happening.
Deploying.
We did it. It says that does the Timefall farmer have one? Am I gonna go back down there and check? Because it says a lot opened up, actually.
It does sort of look like a place of employment. There's a lot of adults, so that explains all the kids are out and about in the streets during the day.
Almost
and all the
ruined?
adults hang out
Uh-oh.
in the Pokemon Tower. What are you? He says,
I
can't
gotta
forget
get
my
this thing
dearly
to a
departed
repair
custodian.
station.
Oh, he's crying. They interrupted his funeral. Jeez. I don't mean to be insensitive, sir, but I do need to know. Do you have a job? So he's dressed like that other guy who had a job. Shirt's tucked in, hairline is receding. He says, oh, this won't do. I'm awash in tears. Which tells me that he's uncomfortable crying in front of people, which is the type of thing that like a man with a job would say. He's crying and then he's catching himself and going, I've got to stop crying. I got to pull it together. Pull it together for what? A job. I think that's the best I'm going to get. So I'm going to say this guy's employed. Well, here's what I can tell you. This lady behind the counter, probably employed. This seems like a receptionist, right? She's standing behind a desk, helping people check in, helping people find their Pokemon graves or whatever. And then there's this person here. Seems like some sort of religious figure, but does appear to be sort of like watching the entrance to the Pokemon Tower. So, I mean, employed, question mark, right? I mean, that's as good as you're gonna get. We could probably count the girl up here as a child. She looks pretty young, so let's do that for ease. Okay, which just leaves this lady. Part of me feels with this lady like maybe like just retired energy, because she doesn't look elderly. Like she's not knocking on heaven's
sensitive.
door, as they say.
Okay.
Like, why does she feel newly retired to me? What prejudice
That's
am I
doable.
tapping into there? I guess there's something like about she says bless your heart to me, which is kind of like
Let me
grandma
see.
behavior. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's because she says bless your heart, and that just reminds me of like a nice old lady. So maybe that's why I think she's recently retired. So yeah, I guess that's what I'm gonna go with. I can't see anything else that's gonna give me a better clue. Now, the only other place we have to go is upstairs, and I'm not exactly sure what we'll find since it is a graveyard, right? It's just
Actually,
loads
looks like
of,
Dash might be doing
dead
something with
Pikachu's and
someone.
stuff or whatever. But we do have a bunch of these people, and we did say that the person downstairs that was dressed like that worked here. And graveyards do need attendance. They need people to like clean them. So I'm guessing all these people are probably employed, right?
Let's go grab this real
person's
quick.
employed, this person's employed. These two people are also employed. And then we got 1 more, 2 more, 3 more, 4 and 5 more.
While everyone's
Good
knocked
God.
out.
This is a really tall tower, which is what a tower is. Got another master trainer here at the top, and nobody else. But yeah, okay, so look at this. Have you ever been in one of those graveyards where you see a person that's interred in something like this elaborate, and then you look it up and it's like some family that has like $7 trillion? Those things cost like multiple tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. So imagine how much it would cost if it was in a skyscraper and for a pet. So that does explain where all the money came from for them to paint this town lavender colored. So I guess it probably is good business. Anyway, that's going to be the last of the people we have to survey in Lavender Town. I'm going to send all of this data off to the Bureau. We're going to put it together for a press conference, and I'll have that for you in 3, 2, 1, press conference. Hello, folks. Hi. Welcome back to another press conference from your favorite Bureau of Labor Statistics. Today we have the employment situation summary for the town of Lavender Town. In Kanto. Returning to Kanto today. We have no additional information for you, so let's get the press conference started. Total surface payroll employment in Lavender Town is at 22 persons, and unemployment is at 4.3%, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported today. Lavender Town is a small municipality in East Kanto with a population of 40, that's 40, majority working age, but with a sustainable spread of the young and old. Lavender Town features 2 of the 3 Kanto standard amenities with a Pokemon hospital and a general supply store, but lacks the presence of a Pokemon gym for traveling Pokemon trainers to compete at. This marks the first city we've surveyed since Pallet Town that hasn't had a gym as a defining feature. That's going to play a big role in some of our conclusions coming up. In theory, the lack of a gym differentiates Lavender Town from the Bureau's previous surveys of Kanto, but in practice, the social and economic structure isn't vastly different. Where Pokemon gyms often serve as centers of culture and political power in a particular region, Lavender Town, in its absence, instead has an institution called the Pokemon Tower. The tower is a spiritual temple of sorts where whose primary service seems to be interring deceased Pokemon of the region's wealthiest citizens, and like a Pokemon gym, its role is culturally significant to the town as well as economically crucial. Nearly 2/3, and this is a remarkable statistic, nearly 2/3 of the employed citizens in Lavender Town are employed by this Pokemon Tower, making it one of the least diversified economies the Bureau has looked at so far, and also directly tying the fate of Lavender Town to the fate of the tower. If Pokemon interment should go out of style, one can't help but wonder what happens to Lavender Town. Indeed, the only other unique place of business in the city seems to be some kind of foster home or orphanage, and it doesn't take a great imagination to make assumptions about where the funding for that institution is probably coming from. This doesn't leave Lavender Town with a lot of options economically. As good as it is to see non-chain business in an otherwise fairly homogeneous region, the obvious solution to this would be to allow the governing body to build a Pokemon gym in the town, or perhaps to lobby one of the neighboring gyms to move in. Lavender Town is geographically small, but its population of 40 actually puts it ahead of cities like Viridian City. As such, an economic crisis, like if the Pokemon Tower sort of went out of business or whatever, if any sort of terrorist or problem happened with it, because of the high population, the surrounding communities, if there was a problem with the Pokemon Tower, it would be a much larger problem for the surrounding communities than, say, a collapse of the single industry economy of Palatown. The former would have a large number of culturally distinct individuals with very specific job skills tumbling into the neighboring cities, which may or may not be able to absorb them easily, and the latter would just see a handful of largely non-working people integrate into the already similar Viridian City to the north. So a big problem for Lavender Town indeed. In this way, Lavender Town is yet another example of low unemployment rates not being inherently positive. And another reason why approaching these situations with nuance and being thoughtful about your analysis on a case-by-case basis is the Bureau's daily mission. 4.3% puts Lavender Town in the top 3 of our list, despite everything we've said, ahead of Pewter City and Kanto, but just behind the imperial capital of Solitude in Skyrim. This data was conducted by the Bureau, or the data was gathered in a survey conducted over a single day, and that brings our total city count to 15 surveyed municipalities. It's a low unemployment rate for Lavender Town, but obviously a complex situation. So it'll be interesting to see how the entirety of Kanto sort of shapes as we do more surveys. We are more than halfway done, or we're about halfway done, I should say, with surveying Kanto, so it should be sooner rather than later. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, post a comment down below to say that you liked it. That tells me that I'm making what you want to see, which is what I want to do, because I'm here to serve you. If you want to help me out, you can go to patreon.com/Annie_Austin. That's how I get my support, and that's mostly it. That's pretty much the end of it. So, as usual, I've got a song for you today. A big uptick in people listening to the tunes, which I appreciate very much. We're up to like thousands of monthly listeners on Spotify, which is so cool. So thank you very much for that. Enjoy the song, and I will see you next time.
I don't know exactly what I wanted to do with my time.
His music, I don't know if I finished my thought yesterday.
The gloomy
His music reminds me of like a laid back Bo Burnham. Something else I've been thinking, I was waiting for the video to end. Can I listen to audiobooks on stream, or is that like watching a movie on stream? I don't know. I'm gonna have to get my guys on that. See what I can dig up. Your partner Jay. Thank you. Guess this is goodbye. He's dead? Wait, I never played Cyberpunk. He's dead? We're done. We're done fetching those chips for this guy, it seems. The Timefall Farmer. No more mule trouble. Thanks, Sam. Now, if you could actually, if we could, like, permanently get rid of their encampment, that'd be fantastic. The Veteran Porter. What portering's really all about. Oh, hang on, I can't read that. I'm sorry. I gotta bring up... Where's my dashboard? It's too small. Rain! Thank you very much for the raid. Thank you very much. How you doing? Oh, there. Okay, now I see it in chat. What's going on? You caught me at a funny time, because I'm actually also... winding down here. I have work in... I gotta be up for work in like 4 hours. Good timing. Yeah, we can both dip and get some food. Go to sleep. 4 hours, is that right? No, I'm sorry, 6 hours. I gotta be up in 6 hours. Yeah, I'll get a nap. Let me finish reading this real quick. All right. And I actually want to check one more thing. What was that song? There was a song we unlocked last night that I liked. Was it this one? Have a good night. I need to eat. I gotcha. I gotcha. Thank you very much for the raid, Rain. Today's Friday, so you guys, I believe, are off. You guys get tomorrow off, don't you? I can't hear it. I gotta turn it up here. I still can't hear it. There I am. Well, let's see here. Did Mike end up streaming today? I don't see him. No, okay, he did not stream today. Okay. Yeah, I heard the direct was... Some could say underwhelming. But I want to see what he has to say about it. Or Vinny, actually, probably is where I'm going to hear from it first. Who should be live? Oh no, today's Friday. Never mind, he's not going to be live. Oops. Doug is still doing his... Doug is doing his charity stream. Today might be the last day. I'm not positive. Kryken is doing Keep Digging with some of his friends. I don't know what that is. Okay. Yeah, so you can check some of those guys out. But I am going to roll out. I got some stuff to take care of. And then I might be doing... What are the guys up to? Are they doing Hell Let Loose? Okay. Made some solid progress. We have 2 more places to 5-star. We're so close, guys. We're so close to being done with this game, I promise. We really are. We really are. Yeah, we're getting there. Okay. Thank you, guys. for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your night. And I will see you when I see you. Goodbye.